Hey everybody, welcome to Riding Shotgun with Tupper. It's Tuesday. It's September is it the 4th? I think so. It is hot here. I'm showing 94. That might be a little warm on the truck thermometer, and kind of windy. Man, look at those beans starting to get yellow. I hope you can see that. I'm going to drive around the county today. I think somebody's going to be pulling corn today. There's a lot of fields that look ready, and they couldn't do it yesterday because of the Labor Day holiday, and we've got rain the rest of the week, and somebody might want to get out there today. Who knows? I got Elfie with us today, and I'll tell you what, I had her out last night. We took a ride in the truck last night, and she ran about halfway, ran out there, and then she got a little overheated and wanted to ride home, so we put her in the back seat. And I might do that again, that way she can get on camera. It's too hard to do it when she's running alongside, and she's running alongside. Well, anyhow, we have one Illinois football game in the books. I went to that game as a fan, I guess you would say. Wow, what an experience. You know, you guys are really onto something with this way you go over there and just party out in the parking lots and go to Grange Grove and go home and don't have to write anything. That was amazing. Illinois won the game. It was sort of like there was two games. It was the first half in which Illinois played very poorly and trailed, and then it was the second half in which they played considerably better and ended up winning. But I mean, right away, if you're familiar with the roster and you looked out on the field, you just look like, holy cow, there's a lot of guys missing. Some of them I knew would be missing. I mean, there were some injuries. Jamal Milan was going to be injured. I knew that. But 5 players suspended, and then including the injuries, 3/4 of the secondary of what I would consider to be the starting secondary not out there. A bunch of true freshmen having to fill in. And I was angry because injuries happen. I get that. And this team can't really afford injuries. They're that thin. But suspensions are just so selfish. You know, what is it along the way where it doesn't matter to you that you miss games? It doesn't matter to you that you disappoint and let down coaches, fans, teammates? I mean, I'm not kidding you. That really bothered me, and I'm sure it bothered Lovey, and I'm sure it bothered other fans, and it surely bothered teammates. You know, you get people like Nick Allegretti and Mikey Dudek, who would never, they would crawl through glass to avoid missing a play, a single play. Football's so important to them. They work hard at it. In the case of Mikey, and we'll get to Mikey in a minute, but in the case of Mikey, all he's had to do to come back from injuries shows the dedication. I mean, he's an inspiration to people on that team. And it's just a slap in the face to players who treat it like they do, for somebody to just do whatever they did, you know. And I can imagine, but all of a sudden you're suspended. You can't be out there to help your team. You almost cost them a victory. And now, I mean, if these are 3-game suspensions, and if anyone was smoking pot, I think that's a 3-game suspension. That means they're going to miss that South Florida game, which I've already said I think is one of the pivotal games of the season. An opportunity to come together, play well the first 2 weeks, and then go in there and surprise a team. But I mean, it was just so disheartening. I thought A.J. Bush really played well in the second half. I thought the offensive line came alive. The running game did. Reggie Corbin made some terrific individual plays, which obviously brought me back to when Rod Smith was here in Decatur in June, when he told me how high he was on Reggie Corbin and his big playability, and I didn't see anything the other day that would lead me to believe that Rod's going to do anything but try to get the ball in his hands more. That was impressive. And then, you know, before the game, I'm out walking around over in Lot 31, and had been invited to stop by a couple of tailgates, and you see, I've never tailgated before. I don't know what that is, because every game I've gone to, every college game I've gone to for 44 years has been working. And I get there early, and I get to the press box early. I get to my seat. I take care of my business. I stay late. I write, and by the time I get out of there, which is 2.5 or 3 hours after a game, most of the tailgaters have packed up and gone home. There's a couple way out in the middle. I can hear them out there howling at the moon, but I don't get involved in that. So, you know, I was over there in Lot 31, had a wonderful conversation with Lynn and Rick Dudek, Mikey's parents. Missed hooking up with Carl Allegretti, Nick's dad. Had a great conversation with Dana Howard, you know, college football Hall of Famer, great All-American who I had the privilege to cover. Really enjoyed my conversation with Dana, and ran into, maybe some of you watching here, ran into a lot of fans who were just super kind, and enjoyed every bit of that. And, you know, late in that game, I saw Mikey take a hit, and I didn't like the way it looked, but he walked off, and when I left the stadium, I ran into Rick Dudek, who was walking out as well, and I said, "Hey, what's up with Mikey?" And he said, "I just saw him, gave me a thumbs up, said I'm fine," and he said, "So, you know, I think everything's okay." And then we find out yesterday, that Mikey's done for the year with a knee injury, and it was just heartbreaking. When I heard it, I'll be honest with you, it almost made me cry. I have watched that kid work so freaking hard to come back from 2 ACLs, to get there, to play. He loves it. It's important to him. Teammates are inspired by him. And then to see that happen, oh my gosh. It's just, you know, it was just really demoralizing. I think it'd be very hard for the team to get past that for at least a couple days, and hopefully that by Saturday night when they play Western Illinois, they will have been able to not only come to grips with the fact that he's out, but knowing him, he'll be around the team all the time. He'll be helping in any way he can. I hope Lovey sends him out there as a team captain on the coin flip at some point. You know, they're going to have to plug somebody into his position, whether that is Carlos Sandy or Stampley, I don't know, but it's just awful. And I feel for him and his folks, and that whole team of people who have really pulled for him and watched him work like crazy to get there. So, Western Illinois, 6:30, Saturday night, and you know, I mean, I think they should win that game. I think some of the offensive problems that they had initially were a little bit of AJ Bush being just a little uptight and you know, not finding his groove, and you know, defensively, I think their problems early and maybe continually, obviously, is that secondary had to be completely revamped, and you know, I mean, they were just without people that they shouldn't be without. You know, that's the bottom line there. And so hopefully they'll play well, stay healthy, pick up victory number 2, and then somehow, some way, be able to get in a groove that they can carry with them to Chicago and really, really play well. They need guys back that were suspended, but you just feel like they've let a lot of people down, and you know, you just hope that they learned and that something like that never happens again. But that was rough, no doubt about that. All right, let's see if we can get Elfie in the car. Maybe she wants a ride back. I can get her in. Hold on 1 second. Elf, come on. Come on. Go on. Go on. Go on, get up. Go on. No, not up in the front. Not up in the... You idiot. Get in the back seat. Oh, God. What are you doing? You're not supposed to be up here. Get back there. Get back there. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get back there. Get... Oh, my God. What are you... You're going to sit here and drool all over me is what you're going to do. Well, what are you going to do? You going to say hi to people? Look who's riding in the front seat. Good Lord. What are you doing? I know you're out of breath. Running around in midday heat. I should have done this in the morning, shouldn't I, when it was cooler? Oh, Lord. Well, anyhow. Alpha is hitchhiking back to the house, and I guess that's all for this week. Okay, all right, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday. Thanks to those of you who came up and said hi over the weekend at the game. That meant a lot. It was really nice, and man, that was a lot of fun. It makes you think how much it was a lot of fun for that game. How much fun would it be if this team really turned the corner and got rolling, and we were, 7 games into a season in which we were trying to figure out which bowl was most likely. I mean, that's when it really gets fun. That's when you don't want to miss games, and where that population out in the parking lot is double, as people are really geared up. And in Grange Grove, by the way, that was my first experience in Grange Grove. I've been over there, obviously. I've watched the Illini walk come in, and then I've looked down on it from the upper area. But that was a lot of fun. I think that's a success. Great gathering place for fans and families, and I really enjoyed that. So, you gonna get back there? Go on, get back there. Go on, come on. All right. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you next Tuesday. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.